is up, people? Welcome back to it. You guys are seeing a lot of me lately, which is exactly how I like it. Welcome back to Yakin with Yukon. Um, Third time in a week. So yeah, we got the trifecta going. Very excited for tonight's show. But before we get to that, how are you guys doing? Let me get to the comments here. We already got a few people in. G-Force, what's up, Mark? My buddy, how you doing, buddy? EC Collecting, what is up, Colin? How you doing, man? And I'm sure more will be rolling in soon. Rolando, what's up, buddy? So yeah, guys, like I said, third time in a week. Very excited for this. Today, I can't get off YouTube. Yeah, you're right. I can't. Carlos, you know me too well. JJ, what's up, my man? You boys are rolling in. That's awesome. So, if you missed it, on Wednesday I had a Yakin with Yukon with Art G. So if you missed it, I know that was a tough night because everybody's got lives going on Wednesday. T3's got them, Kenobi's got them, all these guys got them. So if you missed that, go back, check out the replay. Great interview. Had a lot of fun with Art. So go check it out if you're interested in that. Tonight, we are going to be talking to the man, Gary's Grails. And Gary and I have got a really good thing in common, that we're pissed off at Ed from Rebels and Reptiles and Games for getting us back into G.I. Joe. So we're definitely going to be getting into that. Definitely going to be talking about that. And we'll see where this goes. I'm excited for this. So let me welcome anybody else who hasn't come in. JJ, what's up, man? Nice to see you. Windy Billy Figs, what's going on, bud? Good to see you. And of course, T3 Collects. Carlos, guys, you guys are all sub to Carlos, but if you aren't for some reason, go sub. He's so close to 500, and when he gets to 500, he's going to be giving away that bombastic bag, man. So definitely go subscribe to T3 Collects and go subscribe to all these guys in the chat. All right, so let's get to it. Let's bring in our guest of honor here. Let me kick up his intro, and we will bring him in.
All right. That's
all
awesome.
right.
Thanks, man.
Well,
Thanks
I tried
for that.
to find it. No problem. I tried to find a dragon for you because that's how you're.
And you even found a purple dragon, so thanks for that.
Well, actually, it was red, but I made it purple.
Go the extra yard, Phil, and that's what I love about
That's
you.
right. Go in the extra yard. How you doing, Gary?
I'm good, man. How are you? Thanks for having me on tonight.
Good. Absolutely.
I'm glad you guys are picking this over the NBA All-Star game, so appreciate that.
Oh, is that even like
it's on, but yeah.
Yeah, does anybody even watch that anymore?
Not us.
I mean, geez. That's like the Grammys. Does anybody watch the Grammys?
Right,
I sure don't, you know. So, what's new? What's going on with you? What have you been searching for in the way of collecting other than G.I. Joe, which we'll get to in a minute?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. It's kind of been that dead spot, and I've had my last few hunts, haven't found really anything. It's the stores are kind of in between Christmas and I guess restocking. You can tell they're resetting, and there's tags up on pegs for where things are going to go.
Right.
But it's been kind of slim pickings of late. So, it's been eBay for a couple items. Damn you, Ed. G.I. Joe related. I know John, if he's out there. Yeah, he's there. Be happy to hear that. And I've had to change my number, as I told you at the beginning in the pre-show, because I got repeated calls and text messages from Ed yesterday, just disturbing my evening, trying to just hound me with buy Joes.
Yeah.
And I actually did buy a Cobra Commander on eBay. So damn you, Ed, again.
I know.
And,
I know. Don't feel bad. I'm getting the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm getting text messages. I'm getting things on YouTube, Instagram. It's getting annoying.
Apparently, my cease and desist order had zero effect.
Where is that? Where are we at with that anyway? When are we splitting up this collection?
I need to call my attorney and actually set a court date. So, like I said, I'm not going to rest until Rebels, Reptiles, and Games is brought to justice, and you can take that to the bank. Is he here? Is Eddie?
He's not here. It's no fun if he's not here fighting back. JJ's trying to keep up with it, but he can't.
Yeah. Sorry, John. It's nothing on you. It's just an Ed.
No. It's just your buddy Ed.
Ed. Yeah.
He's a menace, really.
He is a menace.
He's a menace, and it's getting to be where I'm glad you took legal action, man. I think that's what needed to happen.
I decided to take the high road. I could have paid a couple of Guidos to, show up there and, take with some pipes and see what happens. But no,
right.
I'm a cultured man.
There you go. See, there we have a responsibility here for the kids, right?
That's right.
Okay, so JJ, he's got a rebuttal already. Who are you pissed off at? It doesn't matter if you and Gary are pissed off at Ed. You are going to buy more Joes. Well,
It's true,
That is true.
but it's fun to pretend.
Right, we like to pretend. Right. G4 says he picked up a $15 Stalker this week. Yes, and you can blame Ed too for that. Yeah, I got one for 17.
Wow.
Stalker's an awesome figure. Great
Okay.
figure.
Okay.
Great figure.
And you just picked up the folks know you just picked up the Sergeant Slaughter. Is that
I
today?
did pick that up yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I got Sergeant Slaughter yesterday at GameStop. So T3, thanks for the tip, man.
Yeah,
I went to GameStop like a few minutes after he said that, and there he
that's
was
awesome.
sitting on the pick. So
And I've got Cobra Commander in the mail. I should have him Tuesday or Wednesday. So
nice.
yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. Yep.
Perfect.
So
JMC Clicks, what's up, Joe? How you doing, buddy? Nobody watches basketball.
no, nobody does. You're right.
All right, Gary, it's time to get on with it.
All
So,
right. Let me have it.
you've been on this show. You kind of know how this
Yeah.
goes. So,
Basic
let's start
format.
from the beginning. So,
Mm.
when did you start collecting, and where was the lull, and where did you pick it back up?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've always been in the realm. Like I've been a comic collector since I was a kid.
Okay.
So superhero stuff has always been in my, I've always bought comics.
Right.
As far as the action figures, I've had an interest in them. I bought here and there, but it really, for me, all this is new since like COVID happened.
Mhm.
When COVID happened, everything shut down. My business closed. I was sitting home for months at the beginning of this thing, watching videos, and I said, I've got some stuff, a few things here. That's when the bug to collect the action figure started. If you're going to ask, I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, but the first figure I remember buying in the store was actually at a Walgreens. It was the Fantastic Four, the Thing, the first
Oh,
version,
right.
and I just started from there. I can remember seeing like the Juggernaut wave in Targets, the Rogue, and that, but
Yep.
I wasn't buying them then. I wish I bought the Rogue then, but so that's really for me is what everything started with the heavy action figure collecting. I was always into comics, and I always had a favorite movie's Jaws, so I always had a little Jaws shrine which I add to as I find things. But yeah, the action figure stuff's just been since COVID, and same thing with the channel. I was watching guys, and this before I knew you and Ed and Super Awesome Geek Show, Blue Heart, all these guys, John, everybody, Rolando. I was watching other guys, which I think you'll probably ask me that later on, maybe favorite YouTubers. And I said, I'm bored out of my mind. Everything was closed. There's no place to go. I'm
Right.
literally,
Right.
I'm here. So that's when I said, let me see if I can do this. I've got a few figures already. Then I was more into the hot toys. I had about 30 at that time. So I was kind of into those, but I wasn't putting them all up on the channel. And I just started from there, coming up with a name, trying to come up with a logo, and just look at my earlier videos. They're shit. I mean, some of the later
I
ones,
think everybody says that
not
about
that
their
great,
earlier
but they
videos.
are. I mean, they're just poorly lit. I'm
Right.
coughing.
Right.
So, but
Yeah.
it's just stuck with me. I've always had the collector's bug, and here we are. 3 years. Well, the channel's about a year and a half old, but
Okay.
probably about 3 years for my collecting action figures and stuff. Yeah. So,
Okay. So going back to when you were a kid,
yeah.
what were you really into when you were a kid? What was the number one go to? What do you remember? Maybe like your parents buying you a gift or
Yeah, I had some cool toys as a kid. I had the original GI Joe when I was a young kid. Don't know what happened to it. The 12-inch with the hair and the dog tags. I had a Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. Sea View was the name of the sub, like a plastic sub. It had a little push thing, and a little mini sub came out of the bottom when I was just a little shaver. Don't know what happened to that. But comic wise, I'm always kind of been a Marvel guy. It's been X-Men. It's Spider-Man, Cap, and for DC, it's Batman, Superman. I'm just real staple as far as the normal stuff. I kind of stay in my lane. But I've got a decent collection of X-Men since '75 when X-Men Giant Size #1. I mean, I've got every issue from that to this past Wednesday. So that's kind of the pride of my comic collection, anyway.
nice,
So, yeah.
nice, awesome, cool. Was there ever a time that you just gave up collecting in general, whether it be comics or
There
action
were little
figures or
the comics I always kept with the staple my main books like X-Men, but I did back off when I got married, and this is a long time ago, '82. It was time to buy a house, and we were having kids, and just money needed to be
right,
spent on the lights and food and
right,
things like that, baby food. So I did dip out of the toy stuff for a while, but I always kept a minimal amount of my comics going since I was 15. So that's been a constant. Now
nice.
it's crazy. Now my whole room is just overrun. 2 stacks on the floor I don't even have room for right now. So,
Right. And now you're adding to it with more GI Joe.
yeah. Thanks, Ed. And
Yeah,
damn you.
like he doesn't have enough going on. It's got to
Right.
get that going on. Okay, cool. So the YouTube thing, you kind of touched on that, like,
Yeah,
and that's something that a lot of YouTubers say is like COVID. COVID got me going on this. I had
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
better to do. Was there? What was it about it that you're like, you know what, I can do this. This is easy.
Well,
These guys are doing it. I can do
yeah,
it.
I don't have an ego about it at all, but I thought I could talk. I mean, I feel like I'm, relatively, and I can't think of a word to speak. I'm a cunning linguist.
There you go. There
That's
you
what
go.
I'm looking for. So I thought I could speak on it. I just didn't know it was something to do, And I thought if it becomes a flash in the pan, I do it for a few months. But I found myself liking it, and really what kept me going was the community, was the people I started meeting after I got into it.
Right.
And at first it was just watching everybody's videos. But I have corresponded, talked to you, I've talked to Ed. I don't know if you know Man Cave,
Oh yeah, man cave's
collectible.
the man. I've been trying to get him on the show.
Yeah, I've talked to him via
Tough.
email, and we chatted a couple times. John with Sleeping Collectible, same
Yep.
thing. Outside of this, so there's been a little correspondence, and that's the best part for me now. That's the reward. It's just the community. We're all
Yep.
into the same stuff. Why not share it? We can't. Got to be honest. You can live in the real world, the business world, whatever, and then, but people out there don't necessarily think about this as a viable. What do you do? I'm 62 years old. I'm collecting action figures. I have a YouTube channel.
Right.
Sue me.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? But
Yeah, who
that's
cares?
so you have to be
Right.
able to survive in both environments, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't want to say the
Oh.
real world than ours, but it's
Yep.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Well, you probably have this problem like I do, and like all these other guys do. You don't really have friends that you're in your area that come over and say, hey, let's talk about action figures.
Yeah, I do
It
have a
doesn't
few.
really.
I'm
Yeah. Well,
lucky in that
that's good.
regards because, like, my local comic shop, we've they've sponsored local conventions, and we've done a
Mhm.
couple of those as volunteers, and so we do have a small gathering of people that like that, like you said, that we can kind of talk to, and I hunt for them for stuff when I'm out in town. I'll call them on the phone. Hey, I just found a Constantine. Do you need it? Yeah, pick it up. Drop
Right.
it up at the comic shop. He picks it up. It's nice. It's just another extended community. Beyond my everyday life. So that's a good thing. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
And that's usually the number one answer that people give me is the community, which
yeah, yeah.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
Except for Ed, I want to just
Except
make
for
that
Ed.
very
Ed
clear.
sucks.
All right.
And he's
Outside
not
of
even
every,
here. He
yeah,
sits
I
there
know.
and he likes every
What a
Instagram post and
what
he
a slap in
likes
the
every
face.
Facebook. But
Yeah,
then where is he when push comes to shove?
yeah,
Nowhere. It's not
yeah.
even here.
He sends his enforcer John in.
Right. Yeah. He says the enforcer. Yeah. All right. Let me get back to the chat for a minute.
All
As
right. So
usual, guys, if you have any questions for Gary, please put them in the
shoot,
chat.
open
Be
book.
sure to, yeah, there you go. Open book. Matt about toys. What's up, Matt? How's it going, buddy? Good to have you on. Guys, if you haven't gone to Mad About Toys, I say this every time, but Matt is super close to 1,000. So
Oh,
I
nice.
think he's like 940s, 950s. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, but last time I checked, he was like 936. So I'm assuming he's like in the 940s.
I'll
But
check it out, Matt. If
awesome,
I'm not, I'll sub you after this is over. So, and you do the
awesome
same.
toy review. He's going to be on this show next month.
Okay.
So you guys will get to know him a little bit better. But yeah, definitely check him out. All right.
Cool.
Let's see what else we got. You guys are just BSing. Okay. So with your channel, what is the goal? There's going to be, I'm assuming you have a goal. Is the goal to get monetized? Is the goal to be bigger than Shartimus? What's your goal?
Nah, well,
Or
that's not going to happen. No, I don't. I mean, to be monetized would be great, but that's so far. It's not, and I don't have a number of subscribers. Like right now, my next goal, my next plateau would be 500. I just
right,
crossed four,
right.
but it's taken a year and a half. It's a grind.
It's a correct. Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. So as far as direct goals, 500 would be the next one, and I would do a live and a giveaway. But beyond that, we'll just see. Right now, it's fun. I mean, I'm going to be retired in 3 years, so I hope the channel is still around then, and then I can really, devote even more time to it. Maybe do more videos, have more time to do, set it to one hunt a week. Maybe I can do two or three, and just content. Coming up with content's the big thing. So
Right.
as long as I'm having fun with it, it's going to stick around.
Right.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
going with.
that's
Yeah,
the most important thing,
yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
with this, because yeah, you're not gonna probably most of us, all of us, are not gonna be on Shartimus's level, and
No,
some of
no.
these other guys, Man Cave and guys like that. Those are the guys that came in early, and they're the
Right, right.
established guys. And there's just been this giant wave of YouTubers to come along in the last, really since COVID,
Yeah,
and that's
I'm
kind
one
of
of
what
them.
you're seeing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Back when you were collecting, say before COVID, was there ever any inkling to start a YouTube channel, or were you just pretty
No, I was just an
okay with?
occasional viewer. Not even. I mean, I watched YouTube because again, it's what I like. movie stuff and spoilers. I'm into all that stuff. So,
Right. Right.
um, no, it was I was always a YouTube viewer, but not I never took it seriously as far as myself getting on it until this until the pandemic. So I'm having fun still, Phil.
Yeah. That's the important thing. All right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
speak of the devil, there he is. He finally showed
Oh,
up.
look who it
There he
is!
is.
Hey guys.
You have no idea, Ed, how much mud your name has been run through
Yeah,
already. I
Ed.
mean, it's been insane.
I'm gonna recap Ed just real quickly.
Go
I
for it.
have decided after yesterday's barrage of text messages, my phone number has been changed. I'm considering actually moving, um, and next thing will be actual court date since you've ignored the cease and desist. So people that don't know me, Phil, are probably going, "What the f is this guy talking about?" He's good,
Yeah,
which is awesome.
that is awesome. So, well, let's get to that. Since he's finally here, since he
Yeah,
decided to show up,
yeah.
there's only been two people that have been two-time guests on this show, and he's one of them.
Well, that was
So,
your first mistake.
yeah. So, guys, if you don't know what the hell we're talking about, like Gary just said, so I got out of GI Joe last year after about probably like 6 months collecting. Gary, how long did you collect GI Joe before you got out?
I didn't.
Oh, you
This
didn't
is
at all. Okay.
no, that's the thing. He's totally to blame because I didn't have one before all this.
So the
Not
story is
one.
what happened was we kept watching Ed's little cartoons and
Yeah, yeah.
Ed's reviews and Ed's lives. And what happens? Well, the trigger goes off in our brains and it's like, oh, well, now I need this because Ed's
Yeah.
got it. And,
We totally caved to the peer pressure and,
we
and, the, and
did.
the
We did.
brainwashing that took place.
So
Subliminal
if you're
messages.
right. So if you're seeing this hashtag damn you, Ed,
Yeah.
that's what it's about.
Get that damn thing trending, people.
I told Ed the other day, I texted him, I was like, that's going to be the #1 trending hashtag very soon on the entire internet.
I can't
That's
wait.
my goal.
Vengeance will be ours, Ed.
Yes, vengeance will be ours. So it's just an inside joke, guys. So that's if you're seeing it, that's what we're talking about. We're just razzing.
We love you, Ed.
We do. Ed's the man. Ed's the
He
man.
is.
So, all right. So we've talked about the collection. We've talked about the YouTube thing. Let me get back to my notes here. So you said you had hot toys. How many hot toys do you have right now?
Currently, like I said, I was up to 30 at one time. I sold them all just because I don't know. I was moving. I just I don't want to move them. Now I'm back to 10 with about 4 more on pre-order right now. So
Okay.
I'm getting back. I've told myself, because they're expensive, maybe 3 a year is kind of what I'm putting on, maybe 4, depending on what comes out. I just pre-ordered that 89 Batman that just got listed last week.
Thing looks unbelievable.
It looks incredible, yeah. So I have to have that. So because I didn't get the DX 09, the first one. So
Mm-hmm. Well, that was kind of weird too because you had this really good high from the Hot Toys, and then they got more product shots of the McFarlane. You're like,
yeah, yeah.
Thought it was going to be better than that. Yeah.
Part of the thing with the Hot Toys for me too was the figures look great. You can't deny that likenesses are spot on. I mean, everything's perfect. The thing that did aggravate me, and I'm just trying to get over it, is the articulation. And if you move them around the way you want to, you destroy them.
Right.
Certain of those outfits, especially like Spider-Man or hopefully not this new Batman, you tear and put creases and stuff when you keep them in any kind of dynamic pose for more than a couple of days,
Yep.
And to me, that limits the value of the thing, what you're paying for, So
Well, absolutely.
you can't have them all in museum poses all the time.
No, and that's exactly what I was talking to John about
Yeah.
when he was on the show a couple weeks ago. That's one of the problems that I had with my Star Wars ones when I had them. I'm like,
Mhm.
I can't put this in a pose I can do with the Black Series, without being afraid that it's going to break or the material's going to rip. That is a big thing, that the seams on the material will come apart over time and that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm right there with you. How about the Batmobile? Are you going to go for that?
$750 or whatever. I don't know. Right now, no. I may hold out and see if they list that bank of computers that he can stand in front of. In the one shot, there's some the old Batcave. That would be a little bit less. I don't. And space is the other thing. Where the hell am I going to put the Batmobile? That's the biggest problem.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Well, I did hear that McFarlane's going to come out with an '89 Batmobile for $80. So there's a good alternative.
Wow.
I mean, if
that would fit a 12-inch 1/6 scale.
Well,
figure.
that'll fit the 7-inch.
That'll fit his. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
so
leave it to Todd.
Todd's coming out with it. So are you a DC Multiverse collector?
I have a few. I have a few. Yep, I have a few. Batman's a thing for me, so I try to get one of every Batman. I'm looking at the wall over there. I have Swamp Thing, both the green and the gray variant. Shazam, I bought. I got Black Adam on Throne. I collect everything the same. I don't have to. I'm not a completist, and obviously I'm in box, so I don't have to buy a whole wave of figures that maybe I don't want one or two of them just for a build a figure because I don't care about the build a figure.
Right.
So I just pick the ones that of characters that I really like or that I think look really cool, and then I do the same thing with McFarlane stuff. Um, Same thing with NECA. Everything that I collect, I just buy the stuff I really like. So I'm not going to have a whole line of everything,
Right.
ever. So
And it's tough to be a completist
it's artwork.
nowadays.
It's just subjective.
Yeah,
It's I just collect.
exactly.
I collect what I like. It's like
The
what Ed
best way
says.
to
I
do
hate
it.
to quote Ed, but there it is.
Best way to do it though. Collect
Yeah,
what you like. Don't
yeah,
being a completist. I mean, I used to do that with Black Series. Very difficult. And then you buy a lot
yeah.
of crap that you don't like. You have a
Right.
lot of
That's
you
what
have a
I'm
lot
saying.
of the sequel trilogy crap, and you have all this
Hmm.
stuff, and it's like, why do I even have this stuff? You know. So, what out of stuff that's been kind of put out this year, what are you the most excited for right now in
That's
any line?
already that's already come out, or what's coming out?
That's already
Uh,
either one. Either
well,
that's
we're,
already come
we're
out
not that
or
far into the
is yet
year.
to come out.
Uh, I mean, I got some, like I said, some stuff on pre-order that I'm really looking forward to. There's some third-party stuff that's really, really great.
Mhm.
There's a company called Present Toys that has an Indiana Jones. They just call it Jones, the Adventure, and that's coming. I hope it ships next month. I haven't. It comes from Japan, so they have they just had Chinese New Year, so everything's shut down for a month and a half,
Right, right.
and there's still shipping issues in the world, so everything's just taking forever to get over here. So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, that Batman that I already spoke about from Hot Toy, that won't be till late next year, I think.
September 2024.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I just kind of play it by ear and see, what as far as Marvel Legends, this new, and I know you agree with this. This new windowless packaging's got me kind of down, and I've passed on figures that I probably would have purchased if they were in the
Mhm.
regular, plastic window. So it's been kind of that's why I'm veering back towards the Hot Toys a little bit more because I'm buying less Marvel Legends than I was before. I'm not even looking for all of them. So I'll
Right.
hunt for them and show you guys on the video, but I don't pick them all up.
Yeah, has that whole thing changed your way of collecting and changed your way of buying, but between the price hikes and the packaging
Yeah, I
and all the
mean,
crap they're
the
pulling
price
and all
hikes
that stuff?
suck. It does
Yeah.
suck, but since I don't buy complete stuff anyway, I'm not, invested that much in a whole, like I said, a whole wave or a whole line necessarily. I can just pick and choose, cherry pick the ones I want.
Mhm.
Um, but the windowless packaging is really sticks in my craw quite a bit, because I just can't. I like to see what I'm getting.
Yeah,
You check for QC issues, and uh, um, we're all, I think, savvy enough that we're not going to fall victim to a swap. We're going to be able to tell if something's been
definitely,
retaped. I think,
definitely.
so that's not a problem. But this windowless thing just pisses me off.
Well, and it's rough for an inbox collector.
Yeah,
That's kind of
yeah.
the whole
Well, that's the
point.
other thing. Yeah, yeah.
It's like it's amazing.
I got a
It's like
couple
with
of them up
this.
there, but yeah,
Yeah, and I'm going to show you this.
yes, yeah. Perfect
So,
example. There's a
I
great
got
figure in there.
yeah, let's hope. I got excited. So you guys can't hear that, but I got excited about this and I actually didn't check the tape last night when I got this. But I'm looking at it now. It looks okay. But
Okay.
again, it's like down here. You got one little piece of tape. That's all it's got to do is just be slit.
Yeah,
See if
yeah.
I can get on there.
It's an
And it's
awesome
like,
figure, though. Yeah.
but yeah, it looks cool. But I'm with you. I mean, if I was an inbox collector, this doesn't really do anything for me.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
I could just go find the box in the trash
Right, right.
and
And
kind of
sometimes
display
even
it.
the shots they put on the outside of the box aren't exactly what the figure looks like.
Well, exactly. You get these promo shots where it's
Yeah,
changed. How many times do we see it with Marvel Legends? Okay, so for instance, the Gore, the Comet Gore,
right, right.
called this out in a video a while ago,
Hmm.
showed pinless
I
joints
remember that.
in the
Yeah.
promo shot,
Yep.
but once you
Yep.
got to the figure, well, it had pin joints,
There they
and
are.
they
Yeah.
flat out ass lied about it, and it's like, okay,
The only thing we can do, and is what I'm doing, I think a lot, is just you can vote with your wallets. If you don't
that's
buy
exactly
stuff,
right.
they're
Yep,
going to have to eventually take notice. Say, what are we doing wrong?
yep, yep.
The figures are
But,
made of plastic, so what are we saving? By not putting a little shell on the box.
right,
Whatever.
it's called a
Don't get
textbook.
me started.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. It's like if you can't see what you're buying, that knocks it down. I don't
Yeah,
know if you had this problem, but all I see when I go toy hunting, I call it out in every video, the amount of Marvel Legends that are still hanging out. They can't.
yeah.
They're not selling at all. I
Right,
mean,
right.
that new wave, that what if wave with the Iron Man and the Scarlet Witch,
Color Witch. Yeah.
they don't move. They don't
Yeah,
move at
he
all.
who
Are you
waits.
seeing that same
I
thing?
joked that he who waits on the peg, he's still waiting. Nobody's buying those figures.
Still waiting. And I've even noticed them on clearance, and they're not even moving. Half
Yeah,
off,
yeah.
and it's crazy. It's like,
It's
wow.
going to go the route of the Eternals eventually. They'll be all be $6.
Exactly. They'll be
That's what'll happen.
$5 just to
Yeah, yeah.
get them
Yep.
out. Yep. Let me get back to the chat. Geek Strong, what's up,
Hey, what's up,
Dino?
Dino?
He's going to be on the show in April. So
Is
looking
he
forward to that.
nice?
Yes, he
You
is.
are you
Yes, he
booked that
is.
far out already?
Yeah, I've got it almost through the end of April,
Dude, that's a
thankfully.
good problem to have.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is, everybody's saying yes,
Yeah, right.
which is
Oh,
awesome.
now would
But
you
yeah,
tell us if
there's
someone no one's going to turn you down? Who would say that?
well, I've had a couple.
Okay,
But
I'm
it's
not talking
usually
about.
because of schedules. Like Man Cave, I've been trying to get Man Cave, but
Yeah, yeah,
he's a hardworking guy and he's busy a lot, so it's
yeah.
tough,
Chris is, yeah, he's a busy guy. Yeah,
But that's actually it's gone pretty well. Yeah, and then I've always got my guys like you and Ed and Kenobi and stuff. I can just have
yeah.
you on in.
If
Like, yeah. So
I'd like to just say for the record, since everybody's here now, if you ever have Ed on again, don't even call me after that.
the
That
show's canceled. It's over.
yeah, this will be the final episode of Yakin with Yukon.
Right. I'll have it in flames with Rebels, Reptiles, and
Yeah,
Games,
yeah.
lighting it on fire. Oh man, too
That's
much,
funny.
too much, too much. All
Who
right.
else is
So
in there? How many
Mark
T4's
said
in there? I
something.
see T3. Yeah.
Yep. So okay. So
Okay.
Mark said, I think in today's toy climate, we've all realized we can't be complete at Silverline. Absolutely. It's impossible with
No.
all the exclusives and all the BS going on
Yeah.
between everything. I totally agree. There's no way to be a completist.
No, don't. Like so, we got to teach them a lesson by not buying everything, and that's
Right.
the
And
only thing
T3
they're going to
says
hear is the bottom line.
exactly,
Yep.
exactly. And that's what hurts. Well, and then, they see their bottom line and right away, instead of saying we're on, we cut jobs, but that's another
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. They fire people.
Right, fire people, exactly. So, and then T3 says the only line I'll ever be completist in is Marvel Legends, and that's understandable. Everybody's got
No,
their
that's
one
hey,
thing,
yeah,
Yep, yep.
not a problem. Nobody's judging anybody here, except
No,
for
absolutely not.
we're judging Ed. But that's
Legacy and Nerd, what's up, Daniel? How you doing, buddy? New father. Hopefully you're getting some rest, my man. And let's see. There was another one. Okay. It's happening with
questions.
Star Wars and Joe's too. They priced themselves out of the market. Everyone's waiting for clearance on regular figures. I agree, but you know
Yeah,
what thing I'm seeing, Gary, and you're probably seeing this too. Clearances aren't happening as much.
not as much. No,
Yep.
no.
It's starting to slow down.
The long game is really the long game. I keep saying like that Brock Lesnar Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of them in all my targets. It's 4 or 5 in every single one, and I'll wait and wait. But it is taking longer for that to finally happen. You're right.
Yeah.
You get all excited. You go run over to that scanner and go, "This is the day." Boop, $32.99 back on
Damn
the
it.
shelf.
Right. Exactly. Is that something that has really become part of your habit now? Is waiting on the long game for the things that the
Certain
things where you're
things,
like, I
yeah,
just don't need this right now. I can wait.
yeah. I mean, if there's something I'm looking for, I get surprised by a new one. I buy it because it's again with the YouTube thing too. I think you guys know this, and it's hard to be that way. But sometimes getting out a figure early is a great thing. You know what I mean? I put up stuff at the beginning of my channel that I had already for months and months, and they were getting 10, 12, 20 views because
Yeah.
they weren't new. And it's hard to be, you know, Hasbro's not sending me anything.
Right. None of us are getting anything from
Yeah,
Hasbro.
I'm not getting any boxes of shit from anybody. The only thing I get shit from is Ed from Rebels, Reptiles, and Games. But till I tie it all in, I'll keep coming back. I'll boomerang back to it 10 more times before the hour's up.
There you
But,
go.
but
But you're right. We're not on that list. We're not.
no,
I'm not
no.
going to name them, but you know who they are.
So
We're not those guys.
it's great to find stuff, and so a lot of my hunts, the last couple, like I said, I haven't found anything. I'm still showing what's there, what I see, and try to find something different. I think I found some of those Hammond collection Jurassic Park this past week that I hadn't seen. But other guys, depending on where you live too, is when things come out. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm in Northern Virginia. Sleeping Collectibles is hunts West Virginia and Baltimore, and sometimes he'll find something, and I don't see it this week. The next week, it just made its way east, a little bit.
Right.
So
Yeah,
you
exactly.
play that waiting game too.
But it is good to know when you see people on the far East Coast and the far
Oh
West. You
yeah,
guys usually get stuff first, and then it
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
sucks its way into the middle.
Yep.
So it is good. I use it as research myself. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, well, maybe this is going to come out. So yeah. Is there anything you're looking for right now that you haven't tracked down yet?
Yeah. The one is the Gargoyles Hudson.
You know
My
what?
local
I got a
target.
beat on that. You have to get with me offline. I
Well,
got a beat
one
on
of
that for
my
you, man.
one of my subscribers texted me a week ago, 10 days ago, and said, "Hey, this Target over in Leesburg, by where I work, has three of them." I was like, "Oh, okay," and I just haven't. I go to work early in the morning, and by the time I get out of work, it's about 10 minutes away, and I just want to go home. I'm tired,
Right,
I'm just,
right,
but
right.
it's sitting there. So that's one that I do want to get. I'm not going to get the whole line, but I want. He's a cool looking figure, so I do want that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, he is very cool looking.
that's what I'm
Definitely.
actively looking for. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
What lines are you into? I know you're into GI Joe.
Damn
I didn't know
it.
if you knew
Yeah,
that. Uh,
this is
are you
this is
still
going to
in
be our
Black
encounter
Series?
group. Hi, my name's Gary's Grails, and I collect GI Joe. And then you got to go, "Hi, Gary."
Hi, Gary. You
It's
you must know Ed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's my sponsor.
Yeah.
So for lines, yeah, it's Marvel Legends. Well, just Marvel Legends. Boom. Not so much into the retro. I have a few, but and for Star Wars, it's again, I'm real picky. I love the Millennium Falcon and Han Solo, favorite character, so I get a lot of Han Solo stuff behind me from Solo, the Star Wars story, and the Empire 80th anniversary stuff. Um, lines and in NECA, it's just sporadic. I've got the two sets of the two turtles, the original turtle guys up there.
Nice, nice.
Monsters, I've got Jason and Freddy and Elvira and what's his name, Michael Myers. So I'm again, it's real hit or miss for me. Wrestling is just my favorite wrestlers. I can see The Rock, Undertaker, Stone Cold. There's a Jeff Hardy there, but Hulk Hogan. Um, I got the MJF, and then the one special. I think it was a Walmart exclusive. Was that the what's his name? It's not Seth Rollins, is it? No. Who's the guy? I forget. I can't see it. It's around the
Yeah.
corner, but so no, it's real
Moxley.
special. Hmm?
Moxley.
No, it's not Moxley. Who the hell is this? He's got a microphone in his hand too. He's CM Punk.
Oh, CM Punk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm looking at the chat too. Hi T3.
So
Um,
yeah, T three's in.
and then this behind me, I do have a soft spot for these quarter scale sideshow collectible statues. So I got the Nightcrawler and the Wolverine
Okay. I was
behind
just
me.
about to ask you about those.
Yeah.
So those are the sideshow ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. How long you had those for?
Funny, not funny story, but the Wolverine I've had this past Christmas. It would be 3 years. I won it. I,
Oh,
my kids put my name in a drawing for sideshow and said my dad's a collector. Da 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 da. I think they kind of a little sob story. I could have afforded it. I could have bought it, but they're so expensive. But he really loves Wolverine, and I won the damn thing. So it showed up in the mail one day.
nice.
The Nightcrawler I bought, I pre-ordered, and then people are going to either love me or hate me. Probably hate me. There's another third party company, and they don't want me to say their name because they're a third party. They have unlicensed stuff. But I entered a raffle on Christmas this past year for $35, and it was for another quarter scale, not this Nightcrawler, but it's a different Nightcrawler statue. It's like him bamfing over the desk, and it's got the little bamfs and the Professor X chair. It's really cool. And that's shipping from, and I won that for a $35 raffle
Awesome.
ticket. So that's going
Nice.
to go replace those Batman. Yeah, and again, space is the big thing.
Always.
I'd like to get a hold of the quarter scale sideshow Colossus statue. Would pair up nice with these. X Men's a thing, as I told you, with my comics. So, um, the next move, my son and I are going to move into a bigger place next year, and I'm going to have a basement with. That's going to be my Grail room. I'll have a lot more space, to
Nice.
expand. So,
Nice.
yeah, that's when the collection's going to go crazy, probably.
So do your kids collect? Are they into this, or is it
No, I mean
just you?
they like it because I had I've got three sons. One lives with me here. The other two are in town, but don't live with me.
Mhm.
They're all into it as far as look, watching what I buy and, oh, Dad, this is cool, but they're not collectors. No,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
They all three
Okay.
read comics or did, but yeah, they're growing up and doing their own thing now too. So,
Sure. Sure. So Dean had a question for you. Let me go
all
back
right.
to it. That was a little bit up. Um, so he said, with your modern, do you have vintage as well?
I don't. I don't. I didn't, like I said, I was telling him earlier, Dean, I wasn't really collecting just comics or in the early 70s. I had the original G.I. Joe and some other cool stuff that you would love, that Seaview sub and some stuff, but it's all gone. I don't know what happened to it. But no, it's pretty much just modern for me. And it has been. So, yeah.
So a
That's
lot of
why I like your
collectors,
videos and Super Awesome Geek Show. And
yeah,
you guys got that
definitely,
stuff down pat, man. It's awesome. The
definitely.
stuff
A lot of
they've
collectors are
amassed over the
going
years.
that way. Are you at all interested in going towards vintage at all?
Um, it's not that I'm not. It would be certain things like I'd like to have a original Kenner Millennium Falcon
Oh yeah.
because of my Millennium Falcon fic. that would be something I like to get complete. In a box would be something that I would go after. Um, when I travel and I do a little bit and I go to shows or out of, I'm traveling, so you can shop at stores, but you can't get stuff. A lot of places don't ship. You know what I mean? So I found things in the past that I might want, but I couldn't pack them to take home. And so vintage is out there, but it's not necessarily a day to day target for me, Dean.
Right.
I just like I said, if you got to beat on one of those Falcons, let me know.
Definitely. Definitely. All right. So going with that, obviously your YouTube channel is Gary's Grails. What is your grail? What is your ultimate grail? And do you think it's attainable?
Something that I want, something I want.
Mhm.
Yeah, Jesus. Well, it would be that Falcon. I mean, I
Okay.
think, yeah, it would be that Millennium Falcon. I guess there are other things I could name, but as far as the one, that would be a gem, in the collection. I don't know where I'd put it, and I've got probably in different sizes, different formats. I've probably got 17 Millennium Falcons, from Hot Wheel size to the
Nice.
recent Micro Galaxy Squadron one, which is a great figure or a great toy, by the way. So
Yeah. Yeah. And
yeah.
it's come way down in price too.
Yeah, I bought it full
Yeah.
price. See, that was one where I found it in the store right away, and
It's
I had
like
to have
going
it.
for it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
All right. So JJ's got I don't know if this is a question or an ultimatum.
Probably a little bit of both. What
Question
do you?
for now. Okay. Well, this is not fair, first of all. Question for you, kind of Gary. How about you do a trivia on GI Joe between you two, between you two and Rebels in the winter? Man, I'm not going to pretend like I know shit about
No,
GI Joe because I
I wouldn't even
don't.
take that battle. No, and knowing is half the
Now,
battle, and I don't know a lot about GI Joe.
I don't either. Now, if
See how we
Ed
did
wants
that?
to be brave and he wants to do it on Star Wars with me and Gary,
Right, right.
then I'm down.
Yeah, Star Wars. I'll take on anybody on Jaws trivia.
There
Anybody.
you go.
I know
There
it's
you
one
go.
movie, but Dean. I think he'd be the one that'd be maybe give me a run for my money. But
The GI Joe is one of those things where I like the way they look, and it kind of
mhm.
ends there. I didn't watch the cartoon as a kid. I didn't
Yeah,
have
my
them as a
kids
kid.
did, so I was
Yeah.
aware. I took them
So
to see
you
the movie when it came out.
right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, you want to go on Transformers, you want to go on Star Wars, let's do it. But
Hmm.
I'm not going to pretend like I know anything about GI Joe.
So John, what we're telling you is we are officially denying the
Yeah,
GI Joe challenge.
that's a no.
Yeah,
That's a no.
hard
No,
no.
it's as long as it's something that we have a chance in, then we'll do it.
Right,
We have
right.
no chance in that. We're gonna get killed. Payne's Toys, what's up, buddy? Local guy who is also in the OKC area with me. So I
Oh, nice.
gotta Payne's
Welcome,
Toys.
man.
You and we gotta get a collab going, buddy. Go hunts because we've been talking back and forth on stuff that we're finding and not. So it's
Hmm.
been very helpful. So Payne's
Nice.
Toys, what's up? Gary, you will buy vintage GI Joe
Is
Jedi
that Ed putting a
handbook.
mojo on me?
No,
Yeah.
that's JJ putting
Oh,
it on you. So
Jesus, that's some bad juju, man. Cut that out. Cut that out.
now Rebels has got a damn you JJ hashtag.
See, yeah,
You're just adding more work to me and Gary because we're putting this crap in everything we do on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. Now
it's a
add
full
more
time job trying to this smear campaign we've started.
It is. It is. It is. All right. So Dean asks, Gary, I know you love Jaws. Do you have
Yeah,
any Jaws merchandise?
I do. I have a little shrine. Um, I've got the McFarlane both sets, the original Orca with Bruce coming up swallowing Quint.
Mm,
That one. It's like I don't know, 18 inches long. I've got the McFarlane hanging poster of the actual poster in 3D. That's two cool things. I got a set of Jaws that my son's got me for years ago for my birthday that are on a frame. I've got the original Laserdisc player unopened. I don't have a Laserdisc. I mean, the Laserdisc, but I don't have a player, but it's sealed. Um, Somebody gave me a pair of Jaws socks at a convention one time that just knew I
oh,
like
hey,
Jaws.
there you go.
I got a pair of sliders like Dockers, shoes that have the shark and Chrissy swimming on both of them. It's just little things. There's a Funko, a full size Funko that came out that he's sitting up there. Of course, I have the Quint and the Hooper in the scuba gear on the wall over there. I've got full disclosure. I hosted Jaws trivia at a convention here in Virginia a few years ago, dressed as Quint. So I
Nice.
had the
Was
mutton chops, and I've got the jacket, the hat, the denim shirt, everything, and I wore those shoes, and it was big fun. So the hat's
nice.
hanging on the wall. Quint's little green, the hat folded in the middle. That's sitting over there. Keychains. Somebody laser printed the Jaws logo for me a couple years ago and gave me that. So the shrine's always growing as I find stuff. I just
Nice.
throw it in there. Yeah, yeah.
Have you seen
I'm
that?
hoping that NECA does a full size Bruce the shark. They've been talking
Mm,
about it. There
mhm,
were pictures
mhm.
online a few years ago of the prototype. What the size would be to scale with those action figures. So
Nice. Have you
Yeah.
seen that new Neko Quint? I saw that yesterday at Target. That thing looks good.
Yeah, I have
Looks
it. Yeah,
really good.
he's there.
Oh, you
Yep.
got that one. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So
And
did
there's
your costume was that pre-eaten Quint or was that post-eaten Quint?
oh, that was post.
Post. Nice.
No, no, it's all chewed up.
So you
No,
might not yet.
no. That
Nice,
I thought
nice.
about that for Halloween costumes, getting the shark suit and just pulling it
Oh
up to my
yeah,
waist and
yeah.
then
Get it
putting
up
the
to
Quint
about
stuff
there,
on.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
and
there
just
you
laying on the
go.
floor and screaming. Yeah.
Brutal, man. Brutal. Uh, all right. So JJ, answer you kind of Gary. Rebels asked for GI Joe in my trivia and didn't know half the questions, so you guys have a chance. No, I still don't think we have a chance.
I don't know. I have zero confidence that I would. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too. I think it needs to
John,
be
I have
something.
now it's 12 GI Joes. That's it.
Yeah,
12.
yeah. So that's the knowledge right there.
That's where
What-
yeah, that's where it stops and
Whatever the
ends.
bio is on the back of this thing, that's
I
what we
can
know.
remember some stuff from the movie, I remember that a little bit, but yeah, I that would be brutal for me.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. All right. So another question for you about YouTube. After you post a video, well,
Mhm.
obviously you watch it during editing and stuff. Do you
Yeah,
ever
yeah,
go
yeah.
back and watch your videos?
Not now a couple of times uh like yesterday for instance, Saturday, well that was yesterday. It took forever. I did that. It was a 21-minute long toy hunt and it uploads pretty quick to standard edition.
Mhm.
So that's why, and I don't post it. It was private until I wanted the HD version. It didn't finish HD. I started uploading it at 1:30 in the afternoon. It was the illumination chamber was coming on 8 o'clock and it still wasn't finished. So I'd already posted it, but it was in standard definition. So I have looked at a few that way because I just can't stand it when it doesn't look horrible, but it's not
Right,
HD,
right.
1080 or whatever. So, but as a rule, no. When I film a video, I've seen it enough on and I do everything on my phone. Everything's on my
Yeah,
iPhone 14. Everything. But no, I don't go back and watch. Occasionally I'll go to my page and scroll down to see if any numbers have jumped up, and I have a little list of my old videos and how many views they had at the time. But that's about as obsessive as I get with it. So yeah,
nice, nice.
yeah,
And you have InShot, right? I use InShot too. That's
yeah,
actually
yep,
pretty good
absolutely,
pretty
yep.
good little app.
What else
So
did I just find? I'll tell you in a second. Let me. InShot's great. I
yeah,
use. Let's see what I got. What's iMovie, Photo Room. There's Fonto. There's another one, but InShot's the latest
yeah.
discovery, and that's been
It's
really
really
cool.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
it makes even if you don't know anything about editing at all, you can follow it real
No, it's
easily,
pretty.
and
Yeah, it's pretty dummy
it's
proof.
very
Yeah. So it's
self-explanatory.
yeah.
Yep, definitely, definitely.
Check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Hey, that's our plug for the.
Mhm.
So Dean says he watches his videos. That's the only way I can give views. Yeah, whatever, Mister Over 1,000 subs. Yeah,
Dean's got
yeah,
like
no.
37 different phantom names. He just keeps watching his own videos. View, like.
Yeah, definitely. So, have you ever thought about doing a live? Have you ever thought about doing a show like this?
I've done a couple of lives, just quick ones, making announcements. Like when I was getting ready to hit 100 and 200 subscribers. Um, I did one infamous 300 subscriber giveaway, and I didn't know you guys. I knew Rebels then, but not you. And I did a duck race, and I was giving away a Black Noir, the NECA figure,
Oh yeah,
Black
yep.
Noir, right? So had about 28 people in the chat. It had to be live. You had to be present to win. I put all their names in. I was real new to this StreamYard stuff then. I broadcast the duck race. I'm calling it like a horse race, so I'm actually doing a vocal over the thing. Come to
Nice.
find out, I didn't share my screen, so they could hear me, but they couldn't see the duck race. So
Nice.
there was a big to do because Blue Harvest Mark
Oh yeah, yeah.
in England won. He was real vocal before on his live streams that I was on. I can't wait to win that Blue Harvest, and I was like, yeah, a little something, a little cheddar cheese, I'll make that happen. And then he won, and then they
Nice,
didn't see
nice.
the race, so I had to get back on, and I realized that I screwed up. So I did a screenshot of the final, and it showed who came in first, second, third, and posted that real quick. Everybody thought it was funny. They said, "Well, at least you called it really well. It was like we could see it. But
Nice.
so that was the last time. So no, I haven't. I've thought about it, but there's so many going on, and when do you
Yeah,
do it where
there's
you
a
don't
lot.
step
There's a
on
lot.
someone else's toes? So right now I'm good with just jumping into you guys and saying hi. And sometimes I can't stay, or I have it on in the background. I can listen, and I'm running around the house doing whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. 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 It's definitely commitment. It's a commitment to do
Yeah.
it, and it's a commitment to, try to come up with questions. I obviously
Hmm.
recycle a lot of questions, but yeah, it's definitely a
No, it's
commitment.
okay. Yeah.
So, you know. So JJ asks, what line would you let go if you were in tough times?
Uh, probably it'd probably be Legends. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I could get more bang for the buck for Hot Toys, but I'm just getting back into them again. So, I think Legends probably
Yep.
if I had to, But
Okay.
luckily, we're
All
not
right.
there. So,
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully not. It never gets to that point, but it
yeah.
it always is a good thing. It's I always kind of look at it as like a savings account because
Hmm.
it's where money.
Right.
And there's been times where I've lost my job. I have to sell my collection.
Right.
There it is,
Well,
like
I
four or
am
five
doing
thousand.
a first for me will be next month. My local comic shop, quick plug, Comic Logic in Ashburn, Virginia. They do a thing. This is the third time they call it LotCon. So it's a convention, but it's in their parking lot outside, with tents over. And I agreed to do to get a table at the next one coming up in May.
Nice,
So because I do also believe you need to use the collection to finance the collection. So I'm going to
absolutely.
purge some older stuff. Then, hopefully, I can make a little bit. It's at $20 for a table, and
Oh yeah,
I'll throw up a banner with my logo and sit there for 4 hours and see what
there you go.
happens. So it's no harm, no foul. So
And you'll meet a lot of cool people too. You'll
yeah,
meet a lot
yeah.
of
I
cool
mean,
people, and
it's a lot of local artists and stuff show up, and I've been to the other two, and no one had toys at either of the previous two, so I might be the only one. So we'll see. We'll see what
right,
happens.
right.
I
Okay,
might.
cool.
I actually I did a video on my channel of LotCon when I just attended it, and I
Hmm,
just talked to all the vendors, ran around with my camera, and interviewed them all real quick. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Stay tuned.
nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Art G, what's up, buddy? Guys, if you haven't seen
All right.
my talk with Art
Last
on
week.
Wednesday
Yep.
last week, go check that out. It's up there
Excuse me.
now. You can do the playback, and great time with Art. So thank you
Welcome, Art.
again, man, for being on the show. Appreciate
Yeah.
it so
Yeah.
much. Um, so you said fund the collect or
Let the
fund the
collection.
collection by selling the collection. How
Yeah.
how
Or
often do you need to do that? Do you think?
I don't. It's not a need to
Mm.
financially. More, it's for space than
Yeah,
anything
sure,
else,
sure.
and that's where I'm at now. I mean, I have the means. I'm not making a killing, but I make a pretty decent living, so I can buy stuff that I want. It's just room. I don't have room for it.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing this pile there and that pile over there,
Right.
and they're waist high almost, And so that's when I go, all right,
Right.
time to purge a
Right.
little bit. So that's what the motivation is for me. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
I know you've been doing more reviews lately. Guys, go check out his review. How do you say the Felix? Is that how you say that, or is it
Felix
Flix
Toys.
or
Yeah. Yep.
Felix
Yep.
Toys?
Yep.
Awesome review on the Joker.
That
Very
figure is
very cool.
awesome.
Amazing figure.
It is.
Amazing
The
figure.
likeness is ridiculous for being that
It's
thick
insane.
inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched the Fushis a couple months back. Then I watched yours yesterday.
Okay.
Great job, man. You did
Yeah.
you did phenomenal. So question is, what videos are you enjoying making more right now? Are you enjoying doing the reviews, or are you enjoying doing the toy hunts more?
Um, I like doing the toy hunts. I mean, the reviews are fun when you find, and again, you just said if you can find something early, you can get some traction with it. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
and I don't review everything I buy. Obviously, everything goes on my Instagram. If I anything I purchase or gets mailed to whatever, I take a snapshot. It ends up on Instagram. But as far as the YouTube channel, it's really the toy hunts is fun. It does two things for me: gets me out of the house, get some exercise, walking around.
Yeah.
3 targets in a Walmart, which is I need to do at my age. It's important, and it's still fun. Like I said, even when I don't find anything, I'm sitting there editing in the target sometimes off to the side. I'm uploading
Oh yeah.
that
Yeah.
section of the video as
Yeah.
I go, and then I sit in the truck afterwards and I go, all right, here's the graphic for this. All right. And by the time I get home, I'm ready to upload.
Hey,
you
you
know,
and I got the same routine. That's
that,
awesome.
that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's the easy way to do it. You got the
Yeah.
InShot, you just pop them in there as you go.
Yep.
And it's like, well, if I get in there, I'm like, I can't remember what was what. No, that's the
Hmm.
way to do it. That's the
No,
way to do it
Saturday
for sure.
morning I'm up at 7:15. That's sleeping in for me, by the way. And then I'm at a target at 8:01 almost every Saturday. So I
Nice.
start. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Have you run into any cool local toy shops that you're gonna have at your future videos?
Well, I ran into one about 6 months ago, and I do have it's Echo Base, and
Oh yeah, you got it. That's right. I forgot you have Echo Base,
yeah,
man.
and I need to
Good
go
shop.
back there because it's been
Yeah.
6 or 7 months since I've been there, so I need to go back because you guys, Dean, would love that because it's all vintage. And now that I know you guys better, I'll take more care to film that stuff. I will not film any GI Joe vehicles because that's just not going to happen.
Make sure you do the hand wave.
Right, right. These are not the toys you're looking for.
Right.
But no, I need to go back there. That's the only store I found in my area. That's about half an hour away, and that's not bad. But I need to revisit them again for sure. So I
Yeah.
was
I
talking to
mean, Those are the good videos. Though I mean, all the
Yeah,
videos are good, but man, when
yeah.
you can get the toy shows or the toy shops and
Mhm,
help
mhm.
them out and plug it, those videos. And I forgot you have Echo Base. That's one I mean, I'm not going to get to Virginia because that's really far away, but that is a cool shop. I've seen numerous videos on that. Very, very cool shop.
Yeah, that place
And
is
they just
awesome.
specialize in vintage.
It's everything, a little bit
Everything.
everything, but
Okay.
yeah, they've got arcade games. They've got, I mean, it's Marvel Legends. It's everything, comics. It's I spent probably an hour and a half in there, and it's a 40-minute video. And then I started leaving, and then there was a whole another room I didn't even see.
Oh, nice.
So the guy said, "Oh, did you get in the back?" I'm like, "The back?" So
Where's the
there's the add
back?
on to the video, or, "Oh, no, now I found this stuff." So
Right,
yeah,
right.
that'd
Nice,
be cool.
nice. Yeah, those are the great videos. All right, well, I'm gonna put you on the spot. You know this one's coming. Three favorite YouTubers. And again, bear in mind it doesn't have to be toy hunters. It can be
Right.
anything, anything else you're into.
Um, I'll say the guys that I was watching before I had a channel, before
Yep,
this was even happening, it would be Robo and Foosh
sure.
for sure. Um, Justin's collection, you familiar with him for
Uh-huh.
Hot
Yeah,
Toys?
yeah, yeah. He
Yeah,
does
he gets
Hot Toys.
everything.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
and the other
amazing.
one I like, and I find him entertaining is Dan Who.
Dan who? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah,
You know,
I know who you're talking about.
he's
Mhm,
like,
yeah.
"Pow, it's Dan Who." He does, yeah, and I just like his delivery, and he's entertaining to me. So if I had to name three, and I'm watching you guys now, but I didn't know you then. This is like
Yeah.
the beginning. There's been a couple other channels, um, and I won't mention that I used to watch. Um, Specifically one that was toy related that I don't anymore because I just don't like what the host of the channel, some things that he did,
Mhm.
and I'm just so I steered away, and I won't. I'm not going to get into a smear campaign only against Ed, but not this guy. So no, those three, and like I said, you guys have been great, and that's the and everybody says it, and I'll say it again: the community and the camaraderie and this stuff, and even the 100 text messages from Ed yesterday during the elimination chamber are all part of the stuff that makes it actually worthwhile. And
Absolutely,
as long as
absolutely.
that's there and that's fun, I'm gonna hang in. So that's not
Definitely.
like a closing. Sorry, maybe I put that
No,
out.
no, 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 no. We're getting close. We're not quite there. I had to go back. There was something here. Hold on. Give
So
me one
yeah,
sec
Foosh,
here.
Justin's collection, and Dan
Foosh
Who. If
is
you had to
great,
name,
man. It
yeah,
was funny. So I was talking to Art on Wednesday about Foosh, about
hmm
Robo.
yeah.
He said that he's like the most
He said he was super
shy.
shy and reserved.
Yeah,
I
I
remember that.
couldn't
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
that. I'm
You
like,
can't.
Robo, he just comes across as so, funny and
Yeah,
very
yeah.
easygoing and just, line after line after line. And
hmm
I was very surprised to hear that.
No, I'm sure that show he puts together. I mean, it's polished as hell. Looks great.
It does.
Takes quite some time. I mean, from our little videos, it's probably a 2 or 3 hour between the hunt and the actual editing. Da, da, da.
Mhm.
I'm sure he's a better part of a day putting that show together.
No doubt.
I don't know
No
if he's
doubt.
reading off a teleprompter when he's going over all his stuff, but um, it's professional looking.
It
For
really
sure.
is. And
It's
he's
like
gotten so
Padawan
much better.
collector for Star Wars. I mean that
Yeah. Yeah.
God bless him, and that channel looks like
Yeah.
it should be on television.
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and there's a lot of those too that you don't that aren't as big. Like Hey
Mm.
Archer. Hey
Yeah,
Archer, I don't know if
yeah,
you know him.
yep.
Man, I mean his intros and the way he's got the everything set up and
hmm
it's
hmm
crystal clear and the
Right.
by the way, shameless plug, he's on next week as my special guest.
Nice.
So check out Hey
Well
Archer.
done.
But yeah, it just I mean, how these guys get it looking so polished, it's amazing. I'm like, I don't even know what to do to get it to look so
I can't remember the name of the
professional.
website I use, but my little dragon intro with the fire.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
paid like $15 for that. Like I
yeah.
sent them the logo and said, "This is what I want." I had to look it up, but it was cheap as hell, And then I do need to probably change it and update it, but yeah. So that's just the look of the channel is I think really important too, and that's and you mentioned this to me, and thank you for talking about it earlier. But my thumbnails, I'm trying
Oh
different
man,
things
yeah.
just to get somebody's
I
attention.
mean, I was gonna just mention that before you said it. Guys, his thumbnails, he's got the best thumbnails ever. The one you did yesterday, I showed my wife.
The
She's
Roman
like,
Reigns one.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's funny because we have the exact same physique, so it was really
You
easy to
you
put
do,
my
yeah.
head on there. Yeah, it was simple.
You got the Samoan. You want to show us the Samoan tat there and
Yeah,
everything?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in this lighting, you probably wouldn't see it. But yeah, that's I'm running out of ideas. Like that was just because the elimination chamber was yesterday,
Right, right,
and
right.
again, I'm sitting in the Target parking lot going, "What am I going to do?" And just for the record, you heard that chime?
Yep.
Rebels and Reptiles in Games just texted me during the. So let's just go. Let's just open behind the velvet rope here,
Let's
people.
do it. Let's do it.
Dear Gary, you and Phil are my worst enemies. I will not rest until you are brought to justice. No, no. He put number 4 in favorite YouTubers for Gary is Rebels, Reptiles, and Games. So he put himself
Number
on my
4.
favorites
There you
list.
go. There
Yeah,
you go.
son of a bitch.
He had that on the chat too. I purposely ignored it, but
Yeah.
he
Well, no,
got
he
he
sent
got
it.
to
See,
you.
again, that's
Yeah.
I got to get the number changed. I told
Yeah.
you.
See, I didn't get a text, so thank God for that. I'm happy
It's
that I
funny.
didn't get a text.
So yeah, the thumbnail thing. My initial idea with it was just movie posters, which I started with The Godfather and the Braveheart one. I didn't like that much, but
I love the
um,
Indiana Jones one.
the Jaws one was
Uh,
me
the
coming up
Ja-
as
the
the
Jaws
shark.
one.
That was the first one.
Yep.
Um,
Neat.
so
Yep.
I'm going to continue that trend. I have one made up with myself and John Sleeping Collectibles that I haven't posted yet. Him and have talked about going on a toy hunt together because
Oh, nice.
we're about an hour apart, so we're going to kind of meet
Nice.
halfway, and I'll use that one for that. But yeah, it's been a challenge coming up with different things to put my mug on someone else's body. So,
Yeah, I mean, but they're great, man. I love them.
thanks.
Like the
Thanks.
most original thumbnails out there, and they definitely catch attention. I think so.
That's the plan.
Um,
Yeah.
Another channel that should be on cable is Rebels, Reptiles, and Games. It's interesting, like the fights on C-SPAN.
My goodness, see that
Wow.
we can't escape. It's like quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper we get into this
Yeah.
GI Joe Rebels. Damn you,
Yep.
Ed
Yep. And
quagmire.
then JJ says, "Question, Gary. I thought you changed your number.
Yeah. Well,
Guess not."
no, I might have made some of that up, John, to be entertaining on the broadcast, but didn't stop Ed from texting me. Did it?
No, somehow we found it. So he's got like
Yeah,
superpowers
yeah.
or
He's got a whole
something.
he's got a whole
I don't know what
network of
he's got.
spies, and
Yeah, yeah. I'm
matter
gonna have to
of
I'm gonna
fact,
have to get him on one day.
there's someone outside my window, and I'm on the 3rd floor, by the way. And there's someone right there looking at me. Tell Ed I said go to hell.
Do you have a drone hovering right at your window?
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so I have a couple. I think I have a couple more. Oh yes. Do you have any critiques for your videos?
Do I have any critiques for mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they were. They're all none of them are perfect. I wish they could all be better. Better. I need more space. I have this little diorama brick wall that I use like for the Joker one, but
Mhm.
it's not big enough. I have a backdrop, a blue piece of poster board for one. I just need. I want the videos to look more professional and better lit. I'm next to this window right here, so I got to. That's poses a challenge for me during the daytime. When the
Yeah.
sun's coming in, I close the shade, you still got ray beaming down. I want my videos to look a little bit better. I think they're okay, but I just want them to be the in-house stuff, the review stuff to be a little bit better.
Right, and those are tough. I actually find reviews to be much more difficult to do than toy hunts because getting that lighting right, getting
Yeah, yeah. And I'm not
you're sitting
really
there trying to
reviews. I guess I'm not giving them a score. At first I
sure.
was thinking about Grail or fail kind of thing to go with the channel, but
Yep.
really I'm just showing the figure off. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't really say if something's wrong with it. I'll mention it. I'll point it out, but I'm not really scoring it or thumbs up, thumbs down kind of thing.
Sure,
So
sure. Have you gotten into? I don't think I've seen. Have you gotten into shorts at all? The YouTube
I've
short?
done a few. They're
Yeah.
they're terrible. And again, poorly lit. I did one of this guy right here. This 110
Oh yeah.
scale Iron
Yep.
Studios
Yep.
that got like within like an hour, it got like 1,000 views. I'm like, what the hell is this short thing about?
Yeah.
But, I tried to do a couple more, but no, it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it counts towards your number anyway. Does it? Or something?
So they did a new thing this year. So it will. But you got to get like 10 million.
Okay.
10
Well,
million views can replace the 4,000 watch hours to help you get monetized.
right
Which
now, see
10 million?
again, and I
Come
think you
on.
have to do that even within a 365-day period or something like that. Is
Yeah,
that?
you
Yeah.
do. Yeah,
So
which is really hard. That I found the subscribers much easier to do than the hours or the short.
right, right.
I mean, it's gonna be
I
forever.
can't worry about it. I just got to keep having fun with it and let it. It seems to be for my channel anyway. About 25 to 30 a month seems to be the trend. So if
Sure.
that keeps going, that's fine.
Yeah, and that's decent growth. You
I'll
get
take it.
one a day. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
So
Absolutely. All right, Gary. Well, we are at our hour. I want you to plug yourself. Tell me where we can find you. Tell me
oh
what you have on the horizon and all that
well,
sort of thing.
Gary's Grails obviously on YouTube. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, not into the TikTok thing. As far as upcoming stuff, toy hunts every Saturday. That's been a religious thing that I got to do. And when these new hot toys come in, like I said, I've got a few on pre-order that should be shipping soon. I'll be shooting those and putting those up on the channel. Other than that, you guys will see me on your live streams, and I'll be always lurking around and happy to be here, man. You guys have been awesome, and thank you for the support and everything. It does mean a lot. It really does. This old man, it's nice to still be able to make some friends in a different area, and I appreciate it. So that's that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Definitely. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great, man. Thank you for coming on the show. Really
No,
appreciate you
thank you for
coming on the
having me,
show.
Joe. It's been awesome. It's been fun.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Anytime. So, guys, thanks again to Gary. You guys have a good night. Couple things from me. New video, Toy Hunt, drops tomorrow at 8 a.m. So be sure to check that out. Still doing the Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. So not going to stop that. Next week, Hey Archer is the guest on this show, and I have to look at the calendar. I don't even remember who's next, but
awesome.
we are mapped out all the way through the end of April. So
nice. And remember, guys,
going.
your Grails are out there. Go find them.
That's right. They're out there. You guys have a good night. We will see you guys next week.
Thanks again.
Thanks, guys.